Hello, everyone. As promised, today we're going to have a webinar on the recent immigration changes that happened due to the extension of the presidential decree, basically extending this deadline from 15th of June to 15th of September. And I hope everyone can hear me okay. Please write in the chat that you can hear me okay. Even though 3 months passed, we're still learning how to use all the webinars and Zooms. So if you can hear me, just please write. Okay, so let's start. Just very brief couple words. Many of you saw my posts, and maybe you think there is some guy knows something about immigration and provide some information. Yeah, I represent a law firm. Basically, I'm a managing partner in the law firm. We've been doing and practicing immigration from 2001. Some of my colleagues should also join the webinar. I don't see them here, but they will be, their names is Maria and Tatiana. So if you will be making questions, send in the questions in the chat. And if you get reply from Maria or Tatiana, this is my colleagues. Yeah, so don't worry. The information that they provide will be same what I would be saying. So let's go into the details. So basically, what this decree means. This decree basically says that it was extended till the 15th of September. And we already have, as of today, we have received so-called methodические рекомендации. Yeah, this is an internal document from the immigration authorities, basically telling them what to do and clarifying them the procedures and how this decree should be in practice done when foreign nationals come to them. There is not much of the clarification, but it clearly states that basically in case there are immigration documents that are expiring during the period from 15th of March till 15th of September, and by immigration documents, I mean visas, the allowable stay, such immigration registration, such immigration documents are extended for 185 days from the date of when these documents are expiring. Also, it says that foreign nationals don't need to do basically anything to extend their visas or to extend their immigration registration at the place where they are registered, provided that they don't change the place of registration. If they change the place of registration, they would need to make a new registration. But if they continue to stay in the same apartment, they don't need to extend this registration. Their visas also extended for 185 days from the date that the visa expires. So let's say a visa expires 14th of September, it will be extended for another 6 months, and you will be able to stay in Russia without necessity to extend basically this visa, and then leave Russia without necessity to get any exit or transit visa, as they're called. And there would be no penalties, which is very important as well. But the situations that foreign nationals face in practice are not always covered by the documents that the authorities publish. There are different situations that probably would require clarifications. So I would say there are several categories of foreign nationals that would need to have a bit more clarification on what to do in their situation. So first of all is foreign nationals that are working in Russia on work permits. The initial decree allows foreign nationals, basically, if their work permit expired before 15th of June, in the period of 15th of March and 15th of June, not to extend the work permit. Now, the decree says that as of 16th of June, and because the immigration authorities actually started to work full force, if you are working in Russia, you would need to get a work permit or extend your work permit, yeah, because immigration authorities actually are working, and the work permits should be extended. Likewise, the work visas should be extended. And the category of foreign nationals that are working in Russia, we would also recommend to do that. Why? Because if you not stuck in Russia based on a tourist visa, business visa that you came and then all of a sudden the borders are closed and basically you are waiting when you would be able to exit Russia, even though there are flights were organized during this time, but when everything would be pretty safer. If you are staying in Russia anyways, and immigration authorities are working, our advice is to extend the work permits, and as of 16th of June, it's a must. Yeah, if you want to continue legally working in Russia, it's a must. You need to extend your work permit and extend your working visa. We would also recommend from our side, it's only our advice, to extend the registrations. Yeah, maybe like not to rush there right away right now because there are quite long queues, but wait a bit and then just to be on the safe side, to extend the registration. Because one thing is the decree. It's good that immigration authorities do have the clarifications, and I actually also received a letter reply from immigration authorities addressed to myself. Nothing new, but it just confirms what is written in the clarifications. It's good that they have this, so you won't have problems with immigration, but you can potentially have problems, I would say, at police. Maybe police doesn't know, or maybe police will be trying to take advantage if you don't have, if you are stopped on the street and you don't have migration registration. Yeah, in order to escape these problems, I mean, our advice, and especially that immigration authorities are working, is to do the registration. The MFATSE, which is like my documents, yeah, they are not accepting foreign nationals to do the immigration registration. As of now, they're still not doing that, and they're basically sending everyone to the local immigration authorities. We don't know when MFATSE will restart doing the immigration registration. But it is possible to do the immigration registration at the local immigration office. In many situations, this local immigration office is located in the same building where the MFATSE. In some districts, it's a different place, but you can go there and actually do the registration without any issues. Again, having said that, I cannot be responsible for any immigration district because we've been facing different inspectors, and different inspectors had different views. But hopefully with this clarification that was sent out to them today, they will be knowing exactly what needs to be done. Next category of foreign nationals that are in Russia. It's there are quite a lot of language teachers, and they do not need a work permit in order to work in Russia. They have the teacher visas, and the question is, do they need to do anything in order to be legal in Russia? Again, formally, they don't need to do anything, and their visas are extended. But again, if in a particular situation of a particular teacher, the teacher is planning to stay in Russia longer than this 185 days and is not planning to leave after the borders are opened, we would recommend to extend such a visa. Yeah, because this visa will be extended, but the request for extension of the visa should come from the employer, from the school, from the university where the foreign national works as a teacher, and do the registration. That is our advice. But again, if you for whatever reason don't do that, or you have been fired during this period of time, your visa will be valid, your teacher visa will be valid 185 days plus to the date of its expiration. Next category is students. For students, again, the general rule is that their visas are valid 185 days plus to the date that they expired, but it is possible to extend them provided that the students are going uh, will be studying for next year. And some universities actually confirmed this. They said, yeah, of course, no problem. We will extend your visas. And again, the student cannot do it on his own. He needs basically the inviting party. The inviting party in this situation is the university that issues that applies for the visa initially and then applies for the visa extension. So if it's a student who is graduating, and like this summer is the graduation, and he is no longer going to be studying in Russia, then he is eligible to stay 185 days plus to the date of the visa expiration. If student is planning to continue studying and it's not his last year, then such person can go to the university and request that they extend the visa. There is no rush, yeah, but it's possible to be done before 18th of September. They can go and extend the visa just to be, I would say, on the safe side. Probably we will not go into the category of foreign nationals that came from the CIS countries and that basically are working here on patents or should be working in Russia on patents. I don't think that it is very applicable to the members of this group, but their documents are also extended for 185 days from the date of expiration. What else is important to be said here? Again, our advice is to extend the documents that are extendable, which is work permits, immigration registration, work visas. The other documents that are not extendable, such as like business visas, they cannot be extended in Russia at all. You have the full right to be in Russia for 185 days plus to the date that the visa expires. I won't have the possibility, actually, I see the questions. I won't have the possibility in order to keep this seminar kind of going to reply to them myself or be at least reading them. My colleagues, Maria and Tatiana, will be replying for them if they know the answer. Again, we might not know just all of the answers because sometimes the situation may be quite challenging and people, even in immigration authorities, they don't know the answers. What is else new? There was, I also published this in the group, there was a change to the Ministry of Health decree that says that from the 27th of June, foreign nationals applying for the work permits, residency permits, temporary residency permits would need to provide test for COVID. Again, there are more questions than answers on that. Like, we don't know whether foreign nationals that would be applying for highly qualified specialist work permits, and that category, this 3-year work permit, they initially do not require provision of any medical tests. So we don't know whether this category will require to get the test for COVID, because formally this amendment to this decree is for standard work permits, for residency permits, temporary residency permits. But when you look at the situation from the point of view that we're all human and anyone can get COVID, then like we don't see any difference between 1-year work permit holder or a 3-year work permit holder or a person that applies for a residency permit. You know, anyone can get it, but formally it's not applicable for the work permit holders or those that are applying for 3-year work permits. Likewise, we do not know yet. We already wrote a request to Russian embassies, specifically to the to the one that is located in London, because they are replying quite. We have kind of direct communication with them, and they're replying. With regards to whether a COVID test would be required if somebody is applying for the Russian visa in the consulate. Yeah, at that stage. Yeah, because if you are applying for a Russian visa, a multiple entry 1-year visa in Russian consulate, you would need to provide an HIV test currently. Whether they will request provision of the COVID test, we don't know. We made this request. We'll be waiting for the reply. Another side thoughts. We still do not know information with regards to how Russian border authorities look at the situation when foreign nationals that are married to Russian nationals are trying to enter Russia, whether they will be allowed to enter Russia or whether not. Because we had a case in the beginning of April when a foreign national, he's British, he tried to enter Russia, but he was denied. And regardless the fact that he was married, he was denied because the authorities said, we construe this provision of the law, basically of the government decree, we construe that foreign nationals married to a Russian that are traveling together are allowed to enter Russia. If they are not traveling together, they won't be allowed to enter Russia. There was a note that maybe a way out of it is that a Russian national meets a foreign national in the airport. Don't know yet. We'll go to the airport actually tomorrow and speak with the border control people tomorrow to see what's their view. Sometimes it's much faster and easier to find out information, not searching the laws, but in practice. So we'll hope we meet them today and have at least from their practice what's required. Because before that, the procedure, to the best of our knowledge, was that foreign national that wanted to enter Russia would need to at first get a type of a letter, permission from the Russian embassy of the country that the person is stuck, I mean abroad, not in Russia, from the Russian embassy there, to be able to get to the on the plane. And with this letter, the foreign national was able to get to board on the plane. Then he had to provide a lot of documents confirming his marriage status, and then potentially would be able to come to Russia. Again, we haven't had cases of successful entry to Russia of foreign nationals that were traveling on their own. The previous note that I made was for foreign nationals who were stuck abroad, but they had their residency permit application, and residency, if a foreign national has a residency permit, that person can enter Russia without any problems. So the case we had is a foreign national left Russia, but his residency permit application was ready to be issued. So there was a approval for this foreign national that his residence permit is ready to be collected at the immigration center in Sakharova, and the foreign national says, listen, I'm approved, so how can I enter Russia? So two things needs to be done, is to obtain official letter from Sakharova immigration center that confirming that the residency permit is approved and ready to be collected, and based on this letter, foreign national receives a letter from the Russian embassy in his country that basically allows him to board the plane. And in such a situation, it was possible to enter Russia. But again, as I said, we will try to find out the information on how to enter Russia if you are married to a Russian but you're not traveling together, hopefully by end of this week. I think, well, I think that I covered basically what is written in this clarifications. It also says that like foreign nationals cannot be deported in Russia from Russia during up until 15th of September, you cannot, immigration authorities cannot make any decisions on terminations of visas, temporary residency permits. So basically, you cannot be illegal in Russia until 15th of September. That's the bottom line. Well, there's also one thing coming back came to my mind. If anyone has a residency permit and this new requirement for the COVID test, we formally, if you have a residency permit, but you got COVID, formally, this is this disease that has threat to the public, they should terminate your residency permit, which is a bit strange practically wise, because I mean, COVID in as we know in most situations is curable, yeah, and yeah, you stay on the quarantine. They make 3 to 5 tests confirming that you're no longer sick, and what to do after that. Yeah, so they find out that you have this disease, so they need to terminate your residency permit, although this document basically says that they cannot terminate this residency permit, but maybe they can based on the ground that you have the COVID. But okay, you cured in 1 month. Do they restore your residency permit? Do you need to reapply? This is something that we don't know, and I don't think that the immigration authorities know currently. But we will also monitor this, and we will come back as soon as we have the answers. Yeah, I see questions. So if you have questions, I don't know whether you can actually, if anyone wants to speak and say the question, like basically not write in the chat, but ask a question on video, please let me know. I think I have the possibility to allow that. So if something is I haven't covered, let us know. We will do that. Richard. Hi, Richard. Just a second. I think, Richard, can you hear us? Richard, you need to press a button. Turn on your volume. It's on the bottom on the left side. Okay. Any other questions? If there are no other questions, then I will. It has been recorded, so Nicholas, yes, we'll come back to you in an email. This webinar is recorded, so it will be posted in the group. I think I will also post, I don't think that this is some confidential information. I will post the clarification that the immigration authorities internally have. There is not, I mean, it's not that much of information, but at least it's written in a way, not like usually in Russia they do any amendments to the law, and basically the new order comes and it's like change in this point, this and this and this and this, and hard to read. Yeah, at least here in this 4-page document, it's quite easy to read. Yeah, so методические рекомендации. Or I can also, maybe I can post a letter with the reply from the immigration authorities that they sent to me. It's all same, but it's only 1 page, but specifically answering the question what to do if your documents expire during this period of time. And basically it says, yeah, you have 185 days plus to the date then when your documents expire. So if there are no further questions, I would like to thank everyone. Thanks for your questions. To extend the work permit, other documents. Ben, yes, actually, well, the initial law said that the initial decree, which was till the 15th of June, basically allowed working without a work permit, but immigration authorities, and specifically Sakharova, that issues the work permits, yeah, for Moscow, they have been working, they stopped working for 1 day. And during all that period of time, they were accepting applications for extension of the work permits. So like their view is like, okay, guys, you're all self-isolated, but we come to work, yeah. So come and extend your work permits. And as of 16th of June, which is yesterday, yeah, in order to legally work in Russia, and that's the clarification of the that came within the extension until the 15th of September, is that actually you need to extend, you need to file an application to extend your work permit. You can stay in Russia, but not work. Yeah, it basically says that employer can terminate you during this period of time, and you can stay in Russia 185 days plus to the date of expiration of your visa, but you can't work if you haven't extended your work permit. This is new, and this is new from the 16th of June. So again, I mean, as lawyers, and we know that things may be different, and it is very good that the government or president are so kind not to penalize anybody or not to do any law enforcement things. This is good, but from our practice, we know that it's better to be on the safe side, yeah, and especially now that you are required basically in order to legally work in Russia, need to get the extension of the work permit. That's, I hope I answered, Ben, your question. And now the visas are also extended, yeah, because before Pokrovka, that was extended the work visas, they were not working. I would say they were refusing to work, yeah, they were not trying to push everyone back and say, no, you don't need to extend anything. It was possible to extend the work visa even before 15th of June. But now, I mean, they're obliged. And even here, it says that if you come to do the extension of your immigration, for example, registration, they have to accept you. Yeah? So it's outlined directly. Yeah? It says that if the applicant, the foreign national, comes to the immigration authorities requesting to for immigration assistance, such as extension of the work visa or this annual notification of residency or any other immigration procedures that could be done in normal times, the immigration authorities have to do it. Yeah. Any other questions? If not, then probably, in order not to keep it that long for everyone, especially those that will be viewing it recorded, we could probably end. I think Richard, you have you are online. Still wanna try to ask a question or later on? Okay, well, thanks everyone. I hope it was useful, and thanks for your questions, and hope tourist invitations, again, tourist invitations, tourist, yeah, not private, but tourist invitation letters, we don't know, again, we don't know when the borders will be reopened. You know, we think, and this is the indirect, this extension of this 15th of June deadline to 15th of September, we think it's indirect basically sign that the borders won't be opened until 15th of September. We do hope that it is not true, because there were rumors that borders might be reopened as of 15th of July. But still, it was still this is rumors, and as of now, borders are closed, still closed for indefinite period of time, and most probably 15th of September. Otherwise, it kind of not very logical why they extend until the 15th of September possibility to stay in Russia. But we still hope that it's not the case. We hope that maybe a miracle will happen, and 15th of July they will reopen the borders. We'll see. Don't know yet. Okay, thank you everyone, and it was nice talking to you, and thank you for the questions. Have a good day. Bye bye.